Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your sometimes humble host, Eric Sizemore, joined by my beautiful co-host, Michael LeBune, and we are going to have some funny memes for you. But first, a trademark copyrighted absolutely necessary part of the show, the depressing news.
We did it first.
That's right. Where else would you get?
We're first. We're first in depressing news.
Where would even be second if you think about
well,
it?
You'd have to get it from somebody who's second. I mean,
yeah, not cool. Not cool depressing news. Not like here. No. Not at all. Last week, we talked about how the GOP Senator, Mark Wayne Mullen, that's his real name. That's not two names. That's his first name, Mark Wayne. You know how many people have that name? Him. GOP Senator challenged the Teamsters president to a fight during the hearing. And I don't care who you are, man. We all would have killed to see that. It would have been great. We all want to punch this guy. Speaker of the House, new Speaker of the House, Johnson, said separation of the church and state is just a misnomer. So more bangers coming from that asshole. Mark Wayne Mullen in the news again, just for the headline, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Wayne Mullen reportedly fingered the nostrils of colleagues and their spouses during a visit to Israel. That's right. You heard me say fingered nostrils. That's not even a tag on Pornhub, but it's a senator thing. This guy's a piece of work. Over on the House side, all eyes are on George Santos, who might actually be facing expulsion after an ethics committee report found substantial evidence of criminal wrongdoing. But, you know, who knows? Meanwhile, Mike Johnson spoke to George Santos about his options right around the time that Santos accused his colleagues of being drunk felons who have sex with lobbyists every night. He actually talked a pretty good game about his fellow Republicans. And even though, generally speaking, I don't believe anything this man says, this rings kind of true. Lindy Lee says George Santos accuses his colleagues of drunkenness and sleeping with lobbyists and insider trading. Cawthorn accused them of coke-fueled orgies. Romney said that Democrats would be an upgrade from Trump. You know when a Republican is telling the truth? When they're about to leave office. Let's think about it. Friend of the show and founding Zaddy, George Cruikshank, passes along this little tidbit here. Just because it irritates you and TD, I'm never going to stop. Francis Lee says, make your gay characters complex, problematic, nasty fuckers who do bad things, unapologetic, evil, manipulative, unlikable, but three-dimensional. That's a picture of George Santos. Of course, there's all kinds of terribleness going on in Israel. Friend of the show, Meredith Hopping, comedian Meredith Hopping. If you're not following Meredith Hopping, you should be. She has reposted Jeremy Corbyn and said, today, aid will enter Gaza and hostages will begin to return home. Meanwhile, survivors will start counting down the hours until the bombing restarts. This truce cannot be a footnote in the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people. Keep raising your voice for a permanent ceasefire. She's also posted this one. President Biden, a daily 4-hour pause on genocide is still genocide. Enough. Ceasefire now. From the Jewish Voice for Peace. Oh, this is kind of fun. Santos kind of hung himself out to dry on one of these, what was this? Spaces, Threads, some dumb platform. He was talking about the repeal of some congressional ethics laws, which he thought was fantastic. I think it's fantastic. Republican Representative George Santos of New York said of the rules package, which passed 2020 to 2013. Yeah, that's actually some of the ethics that he's going to get bonked on. He thought it was fantastic because he didn't read them. Hey, ex-officer Derek Chauvin, remember him? He's from your neck of the woods up there, Michael, in South Canada. Derek Chauvin,
he's up here.
Convicted in George Floyd's killing, was stabbed in prison, AP source says. I like how they used a photo that kind of looks like he's going, so I thought that was, kind of clever. He's been stabbed by another inmate at a federal prison in Arizona. So I guess he's not near you. Arizona, where he's serving time for the murder of George Floyd. prompting friend of the show, Owen Anderson, to repost this relatable meme for ADHD teens. And it's Sun Tzu saying, live your life in such a way that people don't laugh when you get stabbed in prison. It's good advice. It's good advice right there. A little PSA in the middle of the news. Daryl Hall and John Oates are in the news because Daryl Hall's temporary restraining order has blocked John Oates from doing some kind of planned business. And we always close with an animal story. This is a red-tailed hawk that was captured on a video sitting and staring directly at the Minnesota Department of Transportation traffic camera. Minnesota hawks in the news. Minnesota making a lot of news today, even in NBC7 San Diego. That has pretty much been, oh, you know what, though? Oh, no, we got a better one. We got a better one. This is what Katie sent in to me from the Laughing Librarian, who featured a post from Jonathan West. This is Alder, a killer whale who swims with a dead fish balanced on his head. Back in 1987, a K-pod orca started swimming everywhere with a dead salmon carefully balanced on the top of her head. And it soon became a popular southern resident fad as other orcas quickly started mimicking her behavior. Jonathan West says, I wore a salmon balanced on my head, which was the style then. I'm just like, can you believe this, guys? Everyone is an influencer, including orcas, not us. That has been your news from Facebook for the Blind for November 28th, 2023. And now, on to my beautiful co-host, Quiet Michael, back from Kyiv with a funny long round.
Round one.
Here comes my big long round one, starting off with the hard times. Friend of the show, thehardtimes.net.
Hey.
If you're not following the hard times, like you should. They're reporting George Santos says he plans to return to previous job as starting forward for the Denver Nuggets. So he's got his golden parachute.
Lovely.
American girl releases first doll with hearing loss. And Faith K. Moore replies, wait, the other ones can hear us? Oh, here's a picture of 2 eggs being fried in a skillet, but the egg whites kind of look like a scared ghost, and the egg yolks have come together. And, well, the caption just says it perfectly. Ghost egg, scared of its own titties.
Ridiculous.
I really like this. This is like a meme format that's been used a lot. The brain is in the first panel talking, and in the second panel, it's the woman trying to sleep, talking back to her brain. The brain says, hey, are you falling asleep? And the woman says, yes. Now shut up. She's laying in her bed. And then the brain says, you are driving. And then the fourth panel, she opens her eyes, freaked out. She's driving a car. This has happened to me a lot of times.
Oh, my.
Weed porn, friend of the show, Weed Porn at Weed Porns.
Hey, Weed Porn.
Has a picture of a frog on the phone, and he says, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it because I'm a frog. And Weed Porn says, me canceling plans after the edibles hit way harder than I expected. Here's a picture of a guy holding 7 cigarette lighters in one hand, and it's just titled, another successful day of chilling with the homies.
Oh, man.
Fuck this guy, man.
I hate this guy so bad. Every time I used to party with these hottie girls, we'd all go out to the clubs and stuff, and the girls would come back and compete. They had 3 bowls set up in the foyer. It was just like, ting, 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 I got 7. And I was like, I hate you all so much.
That's fucking evil, man.
I
hate that.
I stole lighters from them, though, and it made me feel...
Like, all the places I've had to light a cigarette because somebody stole my lighter. I've used the toaster. I've used the oven. Like, you name it, man. If I could get a spark, I'd make it fire. Anyway.
Yep.
Google Earth Structures and Anomalies
Hey.
says, why is the Wienermobile in Uranus? And sure enough, there's the Wiener in Uranus, the Uranus Fudge Factory. And right outside of it is the one and only Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. So
last week I posted something and Chelsea says, I have seen the Wienermobile in real life a ridiculous number of times.
Yeah, I feel like I have too.
My friend's dad used to drive it in grade school in Chicago. Every once in a while, to embarrass her, he would drive it to school, and she would just die. Oh, she was so embarrassed. And everybody loved it, though. We're all like, "Yeah!"
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I mean,
that's a quality dad joke right there.
I've been in Air Force One, and I still think I would like be a fangirl if I got to ride in the Wienermobile. Oh, I love this. This is from Bubble Punk at Bubble Punk, and it's just a picture of like a road, a bridge, big mountain landscape, and in cursive, like kind of like 90s font, it just says, "This is all so fucking stupid."
Yeah.
BLG memes, friend of the show, BLG memes. What's up, BLG memes? They have a picture of this cake, and the icing says, "Thank you for helping cock block a threesome I didn't want. Sorry the police got involved."
You'd have to use a cake for that. There's not a Hallmark card. You're right.
Yeah, you gotta make that one yourself. The Hard Times is back. The hardtimes.net, friend of the show, the hardtimes.net says next Saw installment features Jigsaw forcing victim to break in Doc Martens for 2 weeks. That's fucking torture is what that is. I don't know how many I have left, but we're getting close to the end here.
All righty.
Pop punk and punk rock, friend of the show, pop punk and punk rock. It's got this picture of the Sacred Heart of Jesus with a woman worshiping, and Jesus is labeled emo bands. The light coming from Jesus's heart is labeled lyrics about how hard life is. So emo bands, and then shooting out from that is lyrics about how hard life is, and it's pouring over 13-year-olds on vacation with their parents. My last meme for round one comes from Kazran Fourier Trans Femme.
Right.
And they want you to know that minimalism is a scam invented by Big Small to sell more less. That's a fucking perfect joke.
I knew it. I knew it.
Minimalism is a scam invented by Big Small to sell more or less.
Yup.
And that's all I got for round one.
Nice
Kicking
job.
it back to you, Eric. What do you got?
That was a perfect round one, I think. I think that was just fantastic.
Thanks, Eric.
Absolutely. Hey,
I worked really hard on it.
I wanted to mention something at the top of the hour, and I forgot. We are not being joined by our lovely co-host, Andrew Teedy. Andrew Squatch Teedy, and he is currently in the hospital. But I worked up some more branding for him, and he likes the Class Watch. He likes the Class Watch branding. I hope you do too. This is some of my favorite stuff. Thought I'd make him a sponsor of the show. So my segment is brought to you by Class Watch. When your Sasquatch needs to be a little classy. Class Watch.
Classing up the sass is what he's doing.
Unfortunately, I found out that the reason he's in the hospital is he's losing some more toes. So that makes all of this branding and this footprint all, obsolete.
Our Class Watch, listen, our Class Watch had too many toes.
Yeah.
That's a different way of thinking about it.
Oh, dude, believe me, I got some thoughts. I'm gonna share some thoughts. All right. Anyway, Class Watch. This segment. Here we have a
now with the correct amount of toes.
Yes. Now with the recommended daily allowance of toes. All right, first memes here from Spooky Cryptid posting, friend Joshua Knowles. And we have a gentleman on the subway, and he's just on his phone, but his t-shirt says, "I believe in you." I also believe in Bigfoot, so don't get too excited. Yeah, see that segue? That was a segue right there. Here we have a picture of Pluto from the Heinlein Society. It says, Pluto hasn't made a full orbit around the sun since it was discovered in 1930. NASA. And Alan Strickland Williams comments, I wouldn't finish my job if I got fired either.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, yeah, in your face, NASA.
Fuck this job, man.
This George Santos is a pilgrim, and it says, I invented Thanksgiving. from the Independent Tennessean. If you're not following the Independent Tennessean, I'm afraid your Tennessean might not be independent enough. Moving on. This one's from friendly comrade Ancom Mermaid, who's reposted Lord Businessman at Businessman Lego. And he says, I love that there was a period of time when it was like, grr, someone should fix these robocalls. And then they never really did. And now we just don't answer our phones anymore. Replying, he says, seems like a great sign for how the rest of the next few years will go societally. So there's your daily forecast. Better than astrology. Someone should fix those. Fill in the blank. 7 years ago, I commented a little quote from Vladimir Nabokov, who wrote that reality is one of the few words which mean nothing without quotes. Deep one for you there. In the wholesome round. Yeah, Sam liked it. Friend of the show, Jason T. Fleming, has reposted this professor at the board, and he is apparently in a philosophy class, and it says, every single person who confuses correlation and causation ends up dying.
That's fucking nice. Yeah.
It's a good one. You remember that one. You remember that. That's your PSA. PSA in the middle of your wholesome round right there. Friend of the show, Jenny Bennett, has reposted Jordan at Jordan_Stratton, who says, watch out, ladies. When you visit family over the holidays, there will be charming, flannel-wearing men who never left your hometown, who will attempt to swindle you into quitting your high-paying city job and rope you into a boring, traditional suburban relationship. Stay vigilant. Jen Mewey says, don't forget to ask where they were on January 6th. Friend of the show, Kristen Unakis, has posted this from Electric Insomnia. It says, remember the original Duck Hunt? Yeah, neither does AI. Got a dad in a flannel smoking a cigarette. His child is also smoking a cigarette on the couch while he's loading a shotgun to shoot the TV. There's a hole in the lamp in the background. There's ducks foraging in the carpet, sort of. It's all very strange. And yeah, neither does AI. But friend of the show and founding Zaddy, George, he posted, no, it was totally like that. It was just like it.
Yeah, it looks right to me.
Yeah, sounds right. Friend of the show, Dave King, has a posting from inside an elevator. We see a flyer from the University of Alabama that says, do not click buttons with genitalia. Cameras are watching.
Try and fucking stop me.
Here we have a headline says the world's 5 oldest siblings, 102, 101, 99, 96, 92, 5 of these, combined age 490 years old. And that's the headline, world's 5 oldest siblings say faith helped them lead long, happy lives. And the first commenter said, thought that was a congressional subcommittee.
Oh.
You look at it, you go, oh yeah, those 5 faces do look congressional. Friend of the show, Joan Livingston, has reposted Ron Booth, and I saw this many, many times this week. It's just a sign on the side of the road said, how many homeless families does it take to make a billionaire? It's like a story problem. It's like a story problem for the holidays there. So I like that one. I always like story problems. Hey, time for a PSA. This is from the Milwaukee DSA, who says, reminder that liberals are not leftists, especially the center right, that is more than happy to collaborate with the right wing while fighting anyone that is progressive, socialist, etc. They have reposted Lydia XZ Brown Esquire at Autistic Joa, who says, when I come across people who describe San Francisco as a leftist communist nightmare, I just laugh. San Francisco is a right-wing technocratic dystopian nightmare with a veneer of superficial progressivism, not so thinly veiling far-right ultra-capitalistic social Darwinism. Milwaukee DSA. I'm going to look in the comments for my San Franciscan Bay Area people to tell me how straight up that is. I got 2 more. Oh, there was Duck Hunt. No, that was it. That's what George says. And finally, George, founding Zaddy of the show, who reposts I don't like anything, I don't go outside, who has a post from Jack Corbett that says, before phones, what did people look at while they were driving? That wraps up my wholesome round 1. A trademark branded, very essential part of recommended daily boys balanced breakfast segment. round on the show.
Next up, we have, is it the irrelevant round?
The irrelevant round. Now with more irrelevance.
This one, because yeah, this one doesn't count like rounds 1, 3, and post with the most. So this is just this is only for our Patreon customers. History for the Witty 2.0. That's right. This is History for the Witty, but it's not it's 2.0.
Oh fuck.
It's got a picture of John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy, and John says, "We should start a band, Robert." And Robert says, "Great idea, but what should we call it, John?"
Oh my God.
Because you get it, it's about the dead Kennedys.
I do, and either one of them would have sung better than Jello Biafra. I mean,
whatever, man. The dead Kennedys fucking slapped until they started suing each other. Trash Can Paul's here. You didn't think I was going to try to go a whole show with no trash can, did you?
I was stunned it took this long. Stunned.
Yeah, honestly, me too. But that's not a reflection of me. That's a reflection of fucking Trash Can Paul. But Thanksgiving's kind of his jam. Anyway, it's a picture of Joaquin Phoenix, and it says, "Why would they call him Walking Penis?"
I have no context, and I don't even think I care.
It just kind of sounds like Joaquin Phoenix. Such a stupid fucking joke.
No, I think that might be the new bar. That's the new highbrow joke right there.
Oh man, Trash Can, keeping it sleazy. This is a picture of a statue of Jesus that looks like he's got really freaked out eyes. And it says, "When you invite Jesus into your heart, but then he sees what's inside there." I want you to know I really do believe this is real. It says, "I accidentally texted my wife with voice recognition while I was playing the trombone." And so we see this conversation starts. "Totally, yeah, that makes sense. Call you soon. Sounds good." And the wife I don't know, somebody responds, "Perfect. We should probably go grocery shopping later. Thumbs up." And then there's all these text messages that just say, "Woo woo 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 hoo 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 woo 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 hoo woo whoop." Now around text 2, halfway down text 2, we get a whoop 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 woo whoop wah wah wah. What? Whap whap woo woo woo. And it just goes on like that for fucking ever.
Oh my God.
Glow fuck yourself. Friend of the show, Glow fuck yourself.
Glow fuck yourself.
They got this headline from Daily Loud that says Kurt Cobain's daughter and Tony Hawk's son are now married. That's right. Kurt Cobain's daughter and Tony Hawk's son are now married. And Based Brando replies, "They gonna create the coolest white person ever." Here's a picture of a guy laying in a casket, but he's looking at his phone, tweeting something, and it says, "Me at my own funeral, sharing one more meme before I go to hell." Jokes are friend of the show. Jokes are. Eric, will you read this one for us?
Absolutely. This is a picture of an old guy in a baseball hat and a picture of a boat that looks a ship that looks like the Titanic. It says, "My grandpa told me that he got to see the Titanic and that from the beginning he told them not to get on board because he knew it was going to sink. But no one listened to him, and he repeatedly told them until the minute he got kicked out of the movie theater."
The Hard Times is back. They're having a big night. TheHardTimes.net. It's got a picture of this old punk rocker standing outside of CVS pharmacy, and it says, "Oh, you're an REM fan? Name 3 over-the-counter supplements for joint pain." Reddit subreddit Shitty Movie Details has a picture of the 3 kids from Harry Potter, and it says, "To make sure their accents were accurate, the child actors in the Harry Potter movies were forced to grow up in England." This is a picture of a bunch of different graphs and equations, and it says statisticians be like, yeah, this may or may not happen. I don't know. I got two more for this round. Travis Akers at Travis Akers says, I want to see an episode of Undercover Boss with Jesus in some evangelical churches. That would just kind of be cool.
I like that a lot. That's a good one.
And my last meme for this round, Glow Fuck Yourself is back. I'll tell you what, if you're not following Glow Fuck Yourself, go fuck yourself. Because they've got the best meme / butt plug content on Instagram. I mean, I would challenge anyone.
I think you'd win because like that I couldn't think of any better butt plug content.
You find me another meme lord who also sells custom butt plugs and like
good luck.
We'll talk.
Good luck.
But yeah, good fucking luck.
We should talk to them about sponsorship.
They share.
Brought to you by Glow Fuck Yourself. Glow Fuck Yourself.
For your one-stop shop for memes and butt stuff.
I'm gonna write them a letter.
You could just DM them, dude. They respond. I'm not kidding. I once told Glow Fuck Yourself that I share their memes on my show, and they were like, "That's cool, but I don't want to watch your show." That's what that's what they said.
That's exactly what a cool person would say. I mean,
I was like, "They're so cool." So they got a couple definitions for us: femdom, wanting to be dominated by a female; wisdom, wanting to be dominated by a wizard. And that's all I got for the irrelevant round.
Hey,
the one round that doesn't count. Kicking it back to you, Eric.
Oh, you are a lovely, lovely man. Have I told you that? Just all around.
You know what? You have, but I needed to hear it. So
yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, getting into the irrelevant round. Is that the irrelevant round? Now with 20% more irrelevance.
That's right. It's more irrelevant. Yeah.
Now, I like to in my news segments do some good news, and this one slipped by, so I just have to share it. Orcas sank another yacht in a nearly hour-long Halloween attack. I don't know how I know, right? Hopefully by next week I'll get the scoreboard working again, and we'll have an up-to-date score. Yachts 13, orcas 27. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, because by my count, the yachts haven't sank a single orca.
Not this year. It's the orca season. They're taking it all away, guys.
It's a fucking shutout. It's a shutout.
Shutout. Totally. Moving on. Friend of the show and founding Zaddy, George H. Cruikshank.
We apologize. No.
Reposts memes to discuss in therapy back in November 17th, 2021. Rachel at Bug Posting says, doctors prescribing SSRIs are like, you just haven't found the right strain yet, bro. Oh, I get all tickly. That's like so funny. It's true. Friend of the show, George Cruikshank, again reposting Jeremy Kaplowitz at Jeremy Smiles, says, reposting historic vids, says Jeff Bezos has spent $42 million building a clock that will outlast human civilization in a mountain in Texas. And Jeremy says, big deal. He's built a clock that's going to last 5 years. Outlast human civilization. Jeremy says, yeah, that's most clocks.
Yeah, just put a fucking lithium battery in a regular clock. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a smoke detector I'll put up against your clock there, buddy. I ain't spend nothing. I got it from the landlord. Year ago, I reposted this one from Rohita Kadambi, who says every big city heroine in a Hallmark Christmas movie needs to ask where that small town guy was on January 6, 2021. Reposted by Father Nathan Monk. And friend of the show, Dinatra, just posted a laughing woman. I don't know. She's having a very good time. Anyway, still funny. Friend of the show, Owen, has posted this picture that is from, what do you call that game? The Weakest Link or whatever, I guess?
No, this is
supposed to be a millionaire.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Millionaire game.
The question is, what do Christians hate the most? A, Harry Potter. B, questions. C, the gays. D, living like Christ. And this was from Viral Memes for Quarantine Teens and resonated with quite a few folks. First commenter says, seems like a trick question. And it's like, you would. Friend of the show, George Cruikshank, again. And I'm posting this again on the show just because it's that good. It's a conversation. And Ortail42 says, I must not explain the joke. Explaining the joke is the joke killer. I will face my followers who did not get the joke. I will permit them to pass over me and through me. And the first commenter says, is this a reference to something? Why'd you write like that? Is that from something? You're making this so difficult. Moving on. Friend of the show, George H. Cruikshank. Again, it's the All George Hour. Oh my God. Anonymous asks, are you a philosopher? And Tar Guzzler Deactivated says, boy, I'm dumb as shit. And Pochawek says, boy, I'm dumb as shit is just rephrase Socrates. I know that I know nothing. So what's the truth? Friend of the show, Marty says, checks out. Checks out. Just rephrasing Socrates. Friend of the show and granddaddy Stephen Abram has a cartoon of the typical car ride, and the kid in the back says, Mom, Dad, I have ennui. And Dad says, well, you should have made peace with the absurdity of human existence before we started driving. Caption, Dad eventually pulled over at a frozen lake, which represented the sublime beauty of impermanence, but he was pretty annoyed about it.
I get this, Dad, to be honest with you.
I know, right? Yeah, totally. I will teach you the absurdity. I will turn this absurdity around. Friend of the show, Dennis, has reposted Joel Thingvall. Thingvall, that's a cool name. We see here a bunch of soldiers about to face off, old soldiers. They've got swords and shields and helmets, and on their flags, it looks like a lot of ducks to me. Looks like a lot of duck flags. But they're facing off against each other. It says, there can be no peace until they renounce their rabbit god and accept our duck god. You look closely. This guy's a rabbit or a duck.
Because it depends on which way you're looking at it.
Cartoon.
Oh, this is kind of a universalism thing.
Yeah. This was specifically inserted into this show to make Michael go, oh, and
you got me. I went, oh, you fucking got me.
Good. And moving on, that dad guy has posted a conversation that says, Dad, I joined a new religion. Dad says, since when are you a man of faith? And we have a Jesus head. It says, since I found Juggalo Jesus. Since I found Juggalesus. It's a Juggalo face painted Jesus. Dad says, I swear the hospital gave us the wrong kid. New religion, Juggalo Jesus. The best and worst of Twitter, too. Diantha Warnakulasuriya has posted Adam Jones at Adam McCoy Jones, who says she's a professional Christmas decorating consultant. He's a busy executive who is also the Antichrist. Will she be able to teach him the true meaning of Christmas? Find out the new original hallmark of the beast.
That was a long walk to Hallmark of the Beast, but I still feel like it was worth it.
Do you know what? I thought I heard Sammy kind of reacting to that and going, it was worth it. It was worth it for that. It's a little bit of, I'll take it. I will take it. That's fine. You don't think I can go low? You don't think my irreverent round can be irreverent? Here's a picture of C-3PO and RoboCop in a very compromising situation. And RoboCop is kissing C-3PO on the helmet. Next to them is an ad for WD-40.
Oh, it's like Luke.
Like Luke. Yeah. All right, I got two more left here. Friend of the show, Blake Butler at Blake Butler says, if I have failed to respond or communicate with you in a timely manner, please know that I am trying very hard to be a person. This was almost my post with the most this week from Joe Turner at Neurodivergent Memes, Jokes, Hacks, and Blogs. I just wanted to clarify that after years of trying to be a better person, I've scaled back expectations.
Yeah, just shoot your person, man.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. All right, that's the end of my irreverent round 2. Handing it back to you, Mr. Labune.
Yeah, that's right. We're at round 3 now, the penultimate round.
Ultimate round. Welcoming some new guests. Hey, Jax, how you doing?
Audrey Porn at Audrey Porn with an E says, if you knew me before my 20s, you never actually knew me. You knew season 1 me, and we were severely underfunded, and the writing team was going through a lot. I think it's one's been shared on this show, but I don't give a shit. Facts, friend of the show, Facts. I'll be honest with you, we wouldn't even have this show if it wasn't for Facts.
That's true.
And it's something that we don't really talk about very much, but
thanks, Facts.
But it's true. Yeah.
This Thanksgiving, thank you, Facts.
Yeah, I think we could even say Facebook for the Blind brought to you by Facts.
True. We could say
we just don't, because people might get confused about if it's a Zoom show or if it's a show that we do somehow over fax machines.
I don't want any liability either.
No.
Yeah.
So Facts is reporting that a person with damage to the right brain hemisphere can develop a joke addiction, a compulsive need to constantly make and tell jokes. And I read this and suddenly understood all my fucking friends.
Oh my God.
Yeah, every one of us has had a concussion at some point.
Whoa.
This is just a fucking picture of a guy in a car. I don't know. And it says, there is no physical evidence to say that today is Wednesday. We all just have to trust that someone's kept count since the first one ever.
Wow. Good point.
I don't like that, man.
What this guy's thinking, yeah.
This comes to us from WeTags at WeTags. It's a picture of I don't know. It's like a gnome house, a dwarf. What would you call him? An elf?
I mean, he's some kind of forest, woodland, elven fae.
Yeah. He's got a huge ass, and he's naked, and he's only wearing his little gnome hat, and he's looking out the window at the snow, and his house is built around a tree where there's a fire, and it looks really cold outside, but it must be warm inside because he's standing there naked, and it just says me right now. Middle class fancy, friend of the show. Hey. The absolute fucking voice of our culture, Middle Class Fancy. I cannot tell you enough how much we appreciate you.
Yeah.
It's got two pictures here of a dad, and the dad's walking into a restaurant, and if you look, he's got himself a holster on his belt, and in that holster is Heinz tomato ketchup. And it says, my dad brings his own ketchup to restaurants because, quote, sometimes they pretend that it's Heinz when it's really not, end quote. This is a guy who is not going to be bamboozled by some non-Heinz ketchup.
Yep.
Roe at Jordan Rose says it's got a picture of somebody slapping a button, and it says, minding your own business, just trying to watch the film. Your girlfriend slaps the button, and the button's labeled, would you still love me if I didn't have arms and legs? My advice to the fellas out there, just always say no. Just, nope. The Hard Times is back. This might be their biggest show ever. The hardtimes.net, friend of the show, the hardtimes.net, sponsor of this episode of Facebook for the Blind. Says, hey. So I did a thing, writes millennial serial killer in letter to police.
Oh, shit.
Tales of a Concert Junkie has a picture of Mr. Rogers holding a guitar, and it says, if the hardcore band's guitarist looks like this, you're about to die in that pit.
Mr. Rogers, nice.
And for anybody who's ever been to a hardcore show, I gotta say, whenever you see a guitarist or a drummer who just looks really fucking preppy, yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna die in that pit. It's about to get fucking brutal. Oh, I love this. Kira retweets a headline from the Daily Loud again, and the Daily Loud says 50-year-old man arrested after faking heart attack in 20 restaurants to avoid paying the bill. That's right. A 50-year-old man was arrested for faking a heart attack in 20 different restaurants to avoid paying the bill. Wow. Kira says he has the opportunity to do the funniest thing possible at his sentencing. Honestly, if you're not following Kira on Twitter at Kira Won't Miss, like, just fucking go follow them today. They really don't miss. I got 2 more memes for the penultimate round. The next one's from I'm 30 as fuck. And they're retweeting Link, who says, marketing. Let's create a fun and exciting cereal. Executive. Okay, go on. Marketing. It'll have cool colors and fruity flavors. Executive. Oh my God, yes. Marketing. And rabbits can fuck right off if they think they can have some. And my last meme for the penultimate round, leaving only my post with the most, comes from Shithead Steve and Moist Buddha. Keeping it shithead, keeping it moist. They're retweeting Seth Pollock, who says, please don't tell me happy Honda days when you know my family celebrates Toyota-thon. And that's all I got for round 3. Leaving only my post with the most now, Eric. I'm down to my last fucking one. Back to you.
Brilliant, brilliant, wonderful. Make 'em laugh films pass along this picture and reminds us Spider-Man is a Thanksgiving movie. We see, which I'd forgotten about.
Oh, damn. It's true.
So, yeah, there you go. Add that to your list. This one is one of those choose your own adventure books, and we see this kind of a weird prince on the front of it with crystals flying all around him. It says, choose your own adventure, taking mushrooms and going to Walmart. Bad idea. Bot says it's only a bad idea because I hate Walmart. In that vein, friend of the show, Oliver Graves. And if you haven't seen Oliver Graves, he is funny AF. He's got a choose your own adventure as well. And this one, we see the Bay Bridge in the background. And it's choose your own adventure. You're the star of the story. Choose from 20 tragic endings. It's called Don't Bother. You die in most of the endings anyway. He's captioned it, actual depiction of San Francisco. A bullet-riddled, burned-out car. The bridge is snapped. The kid is, anyway. So, yay. Friend of the show, Johnny Cardinal, has posted a picture of a Southwest Airlines jet. Headline, Southwest passenger jumps out of the plane's emergency exit. Johnny says, in fairness, Spirit would charge extra for this. Friend of the show, Amanda Cohen, posts this collection of Wonder Bread bags, and it says, time to break out the snow socks.
Oh, yeah.
My childhood.
From 1970s memories, do you remember.com, and clearly we do. Also handy for your cast in the shower. Moving on, Gin and Tacos reposts their annual tradition reminder from Ed Bermilla at edbermilla.bsky.social. Remember, turkey has nowhere near enough tryptophan to affect you physically. You're tired because you just ate enough bread, gravy, and fat to meet the weekly needs of an adult brontosaurus. Also, you're drunk. Here's a memory of mine from 2 years ago. It's a scene from King of the Hill. And I cannot remember this brother's name across the street. But the guy with the mirrored sunglasses who's a bug killer. Anyway, he says, hey, do your people even celebrate Thanksgiving? He turns to John Redcorn, who says, we did once.
That's awesome.
Sticking to the cartoon theme, we've got Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck with very red, half-closed eyes. And it says, when you and your cousin come back from, quote, taking a walk before Thanksgiving dinner.
Dank. They're fucking cool.
Oh, is that stuffing, man? They, them might be giant ellipsis at Babadook Spinoza says, oh no, I've just heard from an anonymous source that Hamas has tunnels under the White House. That was from Saul Williams. He's a funny guy. Friend of the show, Kristen Yunakis, has reposted, this is so depressing, I went and ate a whole block of cheese in protest. And if you're not following, this is so depressing because I went and ate a whole block of cheese in protest. Well, then where are you getting your blocks of cheese to eat in protest? Reposting James Colley at Jam Colley, who says, instead of a +1, you should get a -1. When you enter a party, you get to choose one person who has to go home.
This is a fucking great rule. I would not be shy about this at all. I would be like, you're fucking out of here. And if somebody minused me, I'd fucking go home. It's great.
So say we all. So say we all. All right. Hereby, the new dictum of the land. Friend of the show, Liv Burrell, has reposted Men's Humor, who has a post from Chase Mitchell at Chase Mitt, Says definitely the future of television I had in mind was me having to Google every movie I want to watch to see if it's currently on one of the 1-month windows of any 7 streaming services that I pay for. This is way easier than just buying a DVD. I love it. Yes, I'm a fire sign, lion permit holder. At Kate All Day says every single billionaire on earth chooses every single day not to get high and go on a GoFundMe and pay off everybody's medical debt and pet surgeries and cat repairs. This is why we should eat them.
Yes.
And she says, obviously, I meant car repairs, as cat repairs is already covered by pet surgery. But I'm leaving. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of cat repairs. That's in my zeitgeist. So Althea Contis, author, has reposted academics say, active voice. I loved your book. Passive voice. Your book was loved. Passive aggressive voice. I love how you felt the need to write a book. Yes. The New Yorker has a cartoon and they're never funny. This is a picture of we have oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. The woman burned at the stake, the famous French hero. But anyway, there's a woman being
Joan
burned.
of Arc?
Joan of Arc, maybe. So
No.
Joan of Arc being burned at the stake. And the headline is, "This is what your unsolicited advice sounds like." This woman talking to the woman who's burning on the stake says, "Have you considered taking up yoga?"
Yeah.
Boy, it does. Sounds just like that. Joan S. Livingston, second time up, has reposted the Clergy Coaching Network. Say that 5 times fast. Anne Lamont behind the podium is saying, you can safely assume you've created God in your own image when it turns out that God hates all the same people you do. This has been your
I just thought that was just a coincidence, Eric.
Yeah, you raise an interesting point. I'll ask the rabbi. Stephen Abram has posted another New Yorker-esque looking cartoon of a board meeting. We have some very official people in fancy clothes, sitting behind a dais, and there's a man behind the podium saying, and so, while the end of the world scenario will be rife with unimaginable horrors, we believe that the pre-end period will be filled with unprecedented opportunities for profit. The end of the world. And
I'm counting on it.
I don't know, man. My stocks are going to be doing so well as the world comes to a complete end. Amazing. Got about 3 left here. Friend of the show, Sarah Green. And if you're not following Sarah Green, she's a sassy wench, and you should. Feisty Soul Tribe, the group, has a post from Marjorie Hodges. And they have posted, any other bitches out there with the stigmatisms want to square up with the inventor of these LED headlights? Unfiltered Thoughts of a Furlong says, we ride, but not at dawn or dusk. 2 more. Hey, congratulations. You've scrolled so far. You're now back on MySpace.
Thank God.
The picture of Tom. Thank you for the post, Vermin Supreme. Time traveling through the timeline. Lovely, lovely man. And lastly, friend of the show and co-founding Godzaddy, George H. Cruikshank, has reposted Guy Kelly, Action Sausage, at Brain Image, who says, used to be a mouse could eat an entire block of cheese and his body would become a perfectly triangular with 2 ears and a nose sticking out. Can't anymore because of woke. George says, same goes for bank robbers. They used to wear black and white stripy shirts and carry a sack with a dollar sign on it. Now they can't, thanks to wokeism. Thanks, woke.
Fucking ruins everything.
Wrapping up the penultimate round. So many lovely.
Here we go.
Screen. To our
We're
post
already here.
with the most.
That's it. This is it. We
This
each have exactly one more meme, because that's what the word most means, is that this is the post with the actual most. So there's no way that either one of us could have any more than one meme left. There's exactly 2 memes left. One of mine and one of yours. And here we go. Here's
You
mine.
sound like somebody who cannot tolerate ambiguity.
Les Saint Laurent tweets out,
Can't see it.
normalize. You can't see this?
Can't see it.
Oh shit!
It
Says
said
I'm
started screen
sharing.
sharing, and it's just trying to upload.
Oh, weird. Let's try again. Here we go. What about now? Can you see it now?
No.
All right, just trust me. This is what it says. This is my post with the most. At Lay Saint Laurent says, normalize going to hell instead of bringing me up in your conversations. And that was my post with the most, Eric.
I missed it because I was busy getting mine set up. I'll do it again.
No problem.
Do
My
it again.
post with the most was a tweet from Lay Saint Laurent, who says, normalize going to hell instead of bringing me up in your conversations.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too, because it's like you don't think it's gonna be, and then it's different than you thought.
I feel bad because I don't know the title of the show my post with the most is from. So maybe somebody can help me here. What?
Facebook for the blind.
No,
Development.
Arrested Development. Arrested
Yeah.
Development.
Yeah.
So we have the two brothers, shouting at each other. One of them shouting, he says, "They won't let me say Merry Christmas." His brother says, "Please, has anyone gotten mad at you for saying that?" You click in and get the full. He says, "No, but I like to feel oppressed." Friend of the show and fan Christopher Berry says, "Yeah, people say that to me all the time for weeks. Doesn't bother me. I don't tell them I'm an atheist. I don't shame anybody for assuming I celebrate the holiday. I say Merry Christmas right back and just go about my business. Now, if somebody says Happy Hanukkah, I get excited. I invite them over to the house to have latke and vodka." I posted Shalom with the two Muppet characters, and he posted this Happy Hanukkah bomb.
That is
that is a water pipe with 8 bowls, and he is lighting. Yeah, and they're all loaded. And I got to tell you what, this brings a whole new meaning to Festival of Lights.
Yeah, good job.
It's a lot of lights. It's a lot of lights.
Steak.
That is why I don't pay any attention to Michael's silly rules. That has constituted a full and wholly constitutional episode of Facebook for the Blind for November 28th, 2023, episode 134. Thank you all so much. We love you. Mwah!
Pray for TD, and we love you, George.
Oh, wait, I do got to wrap up on the TD. First off, couple things I just want to say. I always hated those fucking toes. I told him, I told him, I was like, look, I'm super sorry to hear about your situation, but man, those bitches lied to you. You're better off without those bitches.
Yep.
I said to him, there's more toes in the sea.
Listen, it's fucking chock full of toes.
Totally.
Number one. And number two, those toes were literally the only thing I didn't like about TD. I'll just tell you.
Shaved it off. No, good point. And that is Facebook for the Blind. Love you, TD. Mwah. Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.